Muhammad Ali was an American professional boxer, activist, and philanthropist. He is widely regarded as one of the most significant and celebrated sports figures of the 20th century. From early in his career, Ali was known as an inspiring, controversial, and polarizing figure both inside and outside the ring. He was born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky, and began training as an amateur boxer when he was 12 years old. At 18, he won a gold medal in the light heavyweight division at the 1960 Summer Olympics in Rome and turned professional later that year. At age 22 in 1964, he won the WBA, WBC, and lineal heavyweight titles from Sonny Liston in a major upset. He then announced his conversion to Islam and changed his name from Cassius Clay, which he called his slave name, to Muhammad Ali. He set an example of racial pride for African Americans and resistance to white domination during the Civil Rights Movement. In 1966, 2 years after winning the heavyweight title, Ali further antagonized the white establishment by refusing to be drafted into the U.S. military, citing his religious beliefs and opposition to American involvement in the Vietnam War. He was eventually arrested, found guilty of draft evasion charges, and stripped of his boxing titles. He successfully appealed the decision to the U.S. Supreme Court, which overturned his conviction in 1971, by which time he had not fought for nearly years and thereby lost a period of peak performance as an athlete. Ali's actions as a conscientious objector to the war made him an icon for the larger counterculture generation. Ali was one of the leading heavyweight boxers of the 20th century and remains the only 3-time lineal heavyweight champion. His records of beating 21 boxers for the world heavyweight title as well as unbeaten for 35 years. Ali is the only boxer to be named the Ring Magazine Fighter of the Year 6 times. He was ranked the greatest heavyweight boxer of all time by Ring Magazine and the Associated Press, and the second greatest pound-for-pound boxer by ESPN. He was also ranked as the greatest athlete of the 20th century by Sports Illustrated, the Sports Personality of the Century by the BBC, and the third greatest athlete of the 20th century by ESPN Sports Century. Nicknamed was involved in several historic boxing matches. Notable among these were the Liston fights, the Fight of the Century, Super Fight 2 and the Thrilla in Manila against his rival Joe Frazier, and the Rumble in the Jungle against George Foreman. Ali drew record global television audiences, including 1 billion viewers for the Rumble in the Jungle and Thrilla in Manila and 2 billion for Ali Spinks. Their managers do the talking. Ali thrived in and indeed craved the spotlight, where he was often provocative and outlandish. He was known for trash talking and often freestyled with rhyme schemes and spoken word poetry, both for his trash talking in boxing and as political poetry for his activism, anticipating elements of rap and hip-hop music. As a musician, Ali recorded 2 spoken word albums and a rhythm and blues song, several films and a Broadway musical. Additionally, Ali wrote 2 autobiographies, one during and one after his boxing career. As a Muslim, Ali was initially affiliated with Elijah Muhammad's Nation of Islam and advocated their black separatist ideology. He later disavowed the Noi, adhering to Sunni Islam, practicing Sufism, and supporting racial integration, like his former mentor Malcolm X. After retiring from boxing at age 39 in 1981, Ali focused philanthropy and humanitarianism include campaigning for various causes, donating millions to charity organizations and disadvantaged people, and helping to feed more than 22 million people afflicted by hunger. In 1984, Ali was diagnosed with Parkinson's syndrome, which his doctors attributed to boxing-related brain injuries. As his condition worsened, Ali made limited public appearances and was cared for by his family until his death on June 3, 2016, in Scotland.